Class, here we are, chemistry 351, chemical process principles. One, that's introduction. So like I told you in class, we want to use this online video class records to make up for time because we don't have much time. And secondly, some students have been complaining. So what they want is a situation where they can also listen to the class after that, and that's why we are combining this online and on-site method. So module 1.1, the outline of the lecture will follow this: introduction, classification of chemical industries, moving from chemical laboratory to chemical industry, differences between laboratory preparation and chemical industry, and then we conclude. Introduction. A process may be defined as any operation that converts raw materials to products or intermediate materials, which may also serve as raw material to other processes. So you can see that, for instance, if you process something like palm nuts and produce palm oil, the palm oil can serve as a finished product in terms of using it to cook food. It can also serve as raw material. It becomes an intermediate product. It can also serve as a raw material for production of other things like soap. So any process which converts raw materials to intermediates or finished products, that's what we're interested in, and that's why we call them industrial processes or processes. Generally, the raw material used is called the input or feed, whereas the material that leaves is known as the product or output. The apparatus used for such a process is called process unit or unit operation, such as distillation, columns, heat exchangers, reactors, different kinds of reactors. Now, we'll understand why we're talking about process units or unit operations, because distillation is distillation, evaporation is evaporation, whether you're dealing with production of bottled water, production of drugs, production of perfumes, and so on. So these processes are the same, and that's why we call them unit processes or unit operations. Chemical industries are known to enhance the well-being of individuals in our society through their products. Of course, you don't need to be told that, because when we talk about chemical industries, in fact, almost everything we use in life is as a result of chemical production. From even the pen you use in writing, the ink, the clothes we wear, the drugs we take, our shoes, leather, and so on, everything. So chemical industry have come a long way in helping us in life. Chemical industries also contribute to transportation and communication, even production of goods like paper, gasoline, petrochemicals. In fact, all our life is affected positively and even negatively anyway. But for now, we're looking at the positive aspect by chemical process industry. Now, all these things were mentioned, classification of these chemical industries. You can see we have a lot of them. We just listed the common ones here: brewery and fermentation, all kinds of drinks, fermented products, alcoholic beverages, whiskeys, and so on. Paints, varnishes, pigments, explosive firework industries, fertilizer, agricultural chemical industry, drugs, pharmaceuticals, petrochemicals, paper and pulp, soap and detergent. There are so many of them. Just for you to know that there are so many of these chemical industries. from the chemical laboratory to the chemical industry. So most of the things we do in the chemical laboratory is also what we do in the chemical industry, except that there are a lot of differences. So considerable differences exist in the approaches, the process procedures, conditions of operation, and even equipment between the laboratory and the industry. The objective of a chemical laboratory preparation of a given product is mainly to demonstrate the ability of the experimenter to synthesize the product by some efficient manner using available reagents under stipulated conditions. But for large-scale industrial manufacture of the same product, the objective is quite different. To produce a product at a minimum total cost on a scale to give maximum financial return. So anybody who is setting up an industry, the major thing is you want to make money. That is very, very important. So, but in the laboratory, as we'll see the differences in the operations, in the laboratory, the major thing is just for us to show that we can produce such a product using that process under certain conditions. Now, we'll look at the differences between laboratory practice and the chemical industry production. Now, we divided these into two tables, so many of them. Look at that. The first one, experiments are conducted in glasswares, which we all know. They are fragile and transparent, but it's not so. In industries, we use metals, steel, aluminum, very solid and robust materials, because we don't want something that can break and then we'll lose our raw materials or products. And we also want to produce in large quantity. So all these differences, number 1 to 8, is what makes the chemical industry different. Like the last one, waste of energy is of little concern. In the laboratory, students will just do a titration, and the remaining, maybe you're using something like HCl or nitric acid, the remaining acid, they will just pour it away. But you dare not do that in the chemical industry, because you cannot waste your materials, and also you cannot waste energy. It's just like when you plug your phone, and once the phone is 100%, your battery is 100% charged, the phone will tell you unplug to save energy. If it is something like NEPA lights, national grid, people will just leave their phone there. Now imagine a situation where you on your generator with your fuel just for the purpose of charging your phone, and your phone battery is 100%, and you still allow your generator to run. Then you're wasting your energy. And if you're going to account for it, it means you're going to definitely make a loss, and that's not good for the business. So this table shows the differences between lab preparation and chemical industry operation. And like I will always say, we like to make these videos very short. We've been able to divide our class module 1 into sub-modules of 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3, so that it becomes easy for us to understand these lectures, and also downloading will not be difficult because it's not a bulky one. So we've been able to look at the general introduction to process science, moving from laboratory to industry, and then the differences between chemical industry and laboratory preparation. Thank you very much, and hope to see you in the next class.